Hello, hola, saludos, greetings. I wanted to share something with you. I came across this information here, and you know how you're traveling and wish you knew how to speak a certain language while you were there? You're not in the United States, and you you try to communicate with the people there. Um, Has that ever happened to you when you're trying and they say something to you like, no habla español, no habla inglés, or something like that? I don't speak English or I don't speak Spanish. Has that ever happened to you? Well, I have an offer of classes for you to take online. I'm going to give you this gift. It's only $5. Take advantage of it while it's available because that offer, I don't know how long it's going to last. You can actually speak with some of the, well, you can choose your own teacher. There's a list of them worldwide. You can choose Puerto Rico, you can choose the Dominican Republic, you can choose Spain, you can choose whatever country you want. You want. There's so many of them, and you can choose your. They all have different prices to offer. So I am a affiliate, and as a disclaimer, I wanted to let you know that I do get a commission. I would get a commission off of if you decide to take the classes, and if this is your first time, I may get a commission off of that when you purchase. So, on that note, I came across this information I wanted to share. This is well, let me start from the beginning. um when I was when I was 11 years old, my dream was to go to Puerto Rico. Why? You know, one day, you know how people have the American dream and they say they may be in Africa or they may be somewhere else and they say, oh, one day I want to come to America. And then they get here, it's a whole nother story. It's not the stereotype of what they thought. But anyway, that's how I was when I was a child. Why? Because the area that I grew up in prior to that, there were not a lot of people that spoke different languages. So when I got to an area where there were a lot of Puerto Rican people and the food and all that stuff, and the music in the neighborhood and the fresh fruits at the corner stores, it was like I was on another island and I was home. You know what I mean? But anyway, so I said, one, my cousin, he took me to years ago, he took me to a concert in the park and it was free. And they were playing all this music. And I mean, you cannot stand still. The music with the African roots of the music and it, you can't keep your feet still in the Congos and I forgot how to say it. But anyway, all of that, I said one day I'm gonna go to Puerto Rico. And I made a mistake and not went when I was 18. I should have done that, and I regret. I can't even say it right. I regret that, but I did eventually get to go. When I got off the airplane, I said, "Man, I don't know why I waited so long. I thought I was like I should have been there a long time ago. It was like I felt like I was born there, but anyway, so I'm still practicing my Spanish, and I have a long ways to go because I haven't been practicing like I should be. So, they say if you don't use it, you lose it, right? When I was young in the area that I lived in, I didn't take it up in school at the language Spanish at 11 years old. But when I got to high school, I only took it up for one year, and I regret that too because I could have taken it up for 4 years and been so much better in my advanced in my learning of the Spanish. But I did get to go. It was an experience. I loved it. I returned several different times and thought that I was gonna live the rest of my life over there, but that didn't happen. But I may go back again to check it out and see how things are now. And now I'm sure it's changed a lot. The whole world has changed a lot. But when I started studying on my own. Back in the day, I used to use the newspaper, get the free newspaper, and I would underline in pencil the words that I recognized. And then it got to the point where the newspaper was getting filled up so much I had to switch it over to the words that I didn't know. Along with that, years ago, you know Jehovah's Witnesses, you ever heard of Jehovah's Witnesses? Well, back in the day, they used to send the watchtower and the wake in the mail, and I used to receive it as one of Jehovah's Witnesses. I used to receive that in English and in Spanish. I requested that. And that was my personal study of learning how to read Spanish. I had my dictionary in English. I had my dictionary in Spanish. I had my atalaya y mi despertar también in español. And I used to learn like that and do the reading. And so nowadays, you don't even have to do all of that. You can just go to the Google and take classes like I'm offering you a gift right now of $5 to begin if you want to with this class. And the classes are from I'll share the link with you if you go to the bottom. It's called italki.com / my info so that I can get a commission when you start. And please make a comment if you want to learn Spanish or what language would you like to learn. It's not just English, it's not just Spanish. That's just my preference. Spanish is my preferred language, and I enjoy it like people like a hobby, like people like playing basketball, you know. That's just a hobby for me. It has been for a very long time. So, another thing that I used to do in the beginning, I used to, you know, those little sticky papers, sticky notes. I used to take those and write words down later on, and then I would stick them on different things, for example, um, el libro, and I would put it on a book. For example, la casa, and you can put it on the house. Um, el piel, things like that. And la puerta, different things like that. El piso, you know what I mean? Or maybe you don't. So the floor, el piso, um, different things like that. La casa, the house. Another thing that I do sometimes, I also, when I was younger, I was taking up in Puerto Rico, I was taking up many years ago typing, and I wasn't very good at I wasn't very good. So, because I have a background of being around music, and my mother used to play the guitar, acoustic guitar, and she was teaching me. And I knew how to play one song, and then I didn't want to study anymore, and I regret that. I'm going to get another guitar, Jehovah God willing, and start practicing again. I have to learn my chords. But back to the Spanish. So what I used to do, well, I was in this. Humacao, and studying Espanol. And I had typing classes, and you're supposed to build up your speed after you learn the keys on the. So what I would do is I would sing it, sing the words to help me to type. It kind of in later it will slow you down, but in the beginning it will help you to be able to type sentences. So that's the same thing that I do now. It's a habit that I do now. If there's a word that I'm having a hard time pronouncing, or I just want to pronounce it better and have it in my mind to remember, I will look it up. And I don't have to use the dictionary. I go to Google translation because it has languages from all over the world, and because I also have driven um, as a driver all over the United States, and it comes in very handy. It's what is it called? Google Translate. That's helpful too. So another thing is you can have different things that you're reading, and I have something right here that I pulled up for you. It says, never waste your time trying to explain who you are to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Never waste your time trying to explain who you are to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. So, what I would do is look it up on, and then say it in English, and then I say it in Espanol, in Spanish, and then I would read it out loud. Nunca, nunca pierdas el tiempo intentando explicar quién eres a personas que están empeñadas en malinterpretarte. And so if I have a challenge saying some words or just want to say it better, I will sing it or try to sing it because I'm not a singer. But here it goes. Nunca pierdas el tiempo intentando explicar quién eres a personas que están empeñadas en malinterpretarte. Nunca pierdas el tiempo intentando explicar quién, quién eres a personas que están empeñadas en malinterpretarte. Once again, nunca pierdas el tiempo intentando explicar quién eres a personas que están empeñadas en malinterpretarte. You get the ideal, right? Let me try it one more time. Let me hear you try it. Are you learning English? Are you learning aprendiendo español? ¿Usted quisiera aprender español? Well, whew, you got a free opportunity right now. Click the link. Try to find my course, not my courses, but in my ¿cómo se dice? Um, disclaimer. In this no, not disclaimer. I already said that already. But in the section where the links are, go there, click the link, find italki.com if you want to get the receive the gift that I'm offering you of $5 to begin your classes. The good thing about these classes, excuse me, it's real people from any country that you want to choose. Back in the day, I also was interested in Japanese, but because I didn't have a lot of Japanese people around me, I chose to learn the language that was most around me, and that was Espanol, that was Spanish. But Japanese is also on there. There's so many languages on there, and you're not just learning from a recording. It's a real teacher. It's a real person. You have different teachers at different levels, and it could be casual or it could be formal or it could be whichever teacher you choose. And you can be learning your conjugations. You can be learning, excuse me, things from the beginning, um, or you might be intermediate and want to advance and improve on it. Me, I need to practice more speaking because I'm not in Puerto Rico at the moment. And when I do go to other countries, I'd like to be able to learn more of be more fluent. So on that note, keep trying, make a comment. Don't forget to like, subscribe, press the bell if you're interested, if you enjoyed this information, or you can know someone else who would appreciate the information, digo, who would appreciate the info too. Because I don't know, if you're traveling to these countries, it's always good to be able to communicate in their language since that's the whole ideal. You're going to learn to enjoy the people, the culture, the food, the music from over there. I mean, you're not going to go over to Japan or all the way to Puerto Rico to try a hamburger, right? When you could, but you could also enjoy things like pasteles, quenepa, acapuria, arroz con gandules. What else? Rice and beans. This fruit called quenepa. It's delicious. It's full of vitamin C. Pasteles. Oh my goodness, it's hard to explain that. It's so good. Um, okay, but you get the ideal, right? So on that note, again, I'm going to say thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this video, I am still learning. I have a lot of learning to do. I am wanting you to not to forget to be supportive to other people. What I noticed, have you noticed that a lot of people, they want you to click the link, like, say, press the bell, subscribe, and then when they get so big, they forget to the little people like us, like me, and they forget to be supportive too. So I'm trying to be supportive to everyone else, but they're like they forget about me. That's not cool. But anyway, you know how it goes. Good night. Buenas noches. Que pase un buen día. Perdona mi español. Español no es mi primer idioma, pero me encanta. Un día me voy a regresar a Puerto Rico y también a República ¿cómo se dice? I'm saying it backwards. República Dominicana, Dominicana, República, no, República Dominicana. Perdóname, pero me encanta y necesito practicar con ustedes. Ojalá que yo pueda regresar allá y también visitar más lugares en en diferentes partes del mundo. Yo quisiera tal vez ir a Costa Rica La gente dice que eso es muy bella. Ah, ¿qué más? Déjame ver, pensar. Costa Rica. I want to try to visit Costa Rica too. They say it's very beautiful there. Okay, adiós. Hasta luego. Nos vemos después. Y perdona mi español, yo todavía está aprendiendo. Ahora yo está practicando y también yo quisiera ofrecer información para la gente que quisiera aprender más idiomas. Yo tengo un regalo para ustedes. Búscalo. Es un descuento para empezar las clases de cualquier idioma que usted quisiera aprender. Hasta luego. Nos vemos. Bye for now.